I'm not becoming your puppet, Erin shouted. I'm afraid you don't have much of a choice, Fex replied as he stabbed 12 needles in her back. What did you do to me? Erin asked. I wanted to show you what being my puppet means, Fex replied. Erin went to swing her sword and moved about, yet it seemed like her movements were back to normal. Whatever you did to me, get rid of it now! She lunged forward and swung down her sword. However, as she did, Fex moved a single fingertip, and concurrently, the course of her sword changed, missing the target and merely swinging to the side. My body, did it just move on its own? It was a strange feeling for Erin to suddenly lose control like that. He was now moving his fingers at an incredibly fast speed, and for every different action that he did, it would move Erin's body. While her movements were soft and flexible, as if she was dancing, it was swordsmanship that she had never seen before, one that surpassed her basic skills that were unrefined. What is Erin doing? Layla asked. I thought she would be attacking him, but she looks so beautiful. I don't think it's her look, Vorden said as he pointed at Fex, who was at the back, moving his hands and fingers. You're a lot better than I thought you were going to be, said Fex. It looks like I was right to choose you. When Fex had seen enough, he detached the strings that were on Erin, and she suddenly stopped right there. Now that I have shown you how my swordsmanship works, it's time that I get something in return. Walking towards the lady, step by step, Fex got closer, and right now, there wasn't a thing she could do to stop him. I can't take this anymore. It's not fair on Erin. We forced her into this, and it's clear that she doesn't want to go through with it. What if he's planning to turn her? I'm going, Vorden said as he barged through the roof door. Wait, Quinn shouted. They were so close that Quinn didn't want to ruin the deal they had, but after hearing Vorden's words, Quinn realized how selfish he was being. As Vorden ran out, he gathered a fireball in his hands and was getting ready to throw it toward Fex. However, just as Vorden was about to let the flames go, Erin's body had moved and was now right in front of him. How dirty! Vorden shouted. You're going to use her as a shield? Why don't you fight yourself? Then, a gust of wind seemed to go straight past Vorden as he felt his hair rise. When he looked in front of him, he could see Quinn running past with all his beast gear on. Just like before, Fex moved Erin in front and commanded her to strike her sword, but Quinn showed no signs of slowing down, and it looked like he wasn't even going to bother dodging. Shadow control! Just before the sword reached his side, he lifted the shadow from underneath his foot and blocked the attack, slowing it down. Then, using the flash step, Quinn was able to appear behind Erin and went straight for Fex. Wait! Fex shouted. Stop! This wasn't my intention. You guys win, he said as he held up both hands. Quinn then pulled out a flask from one of his trousers pockets and threw it over to Fex, who was able to catch it. If you need more blood, then you can just come to me, Quinn said. Just leave us be, and I won't get in your way and obstruct your mission, so you shouldn't get in the way of mine. Look, I didn't want to sour the relationship between us two. As I have said, this is all a misunderstanding. Did I ever hurt her? You took control of her body and you forced her to attack me, Vorden said. Just get rid of whatever you put into her body. In that way, you won't be able to control her again. Looks like I've hit a nerve there. I didn't realize she was already taken, Fex said. As fellow vampires, we should be looking out for each other. As a sign of our friendship, I shall do as you ask and remove the needles. Quinn was wondering why Fex's tune changed so quickly. Could he have realized that Quinn was different from the other vampires? But the real reason why Fex had changed his mind about the whole thing was because of Quinn's shadow abilities. The strings were connected to Erin once more, and she felt the tingling sensation at the back of her mind. Fex then yanked out his hand, and at the same time, all 12 needles that were attached to her body were pulled out simultaneously. It's done, Fex said. The others saw the needles had been removed, and Erin could no longer sense a strange feeling inside her body. If you ever wish to become my puppet again, feel free to find me. Come on, let's get out of here, Layla said as she started to walk off with the others towards the exit. Wait, don't you want help with your ghoul situation? Fex asked. We can't trust this matter to him, Vorden said. I'm telling you. But time was running out. Vorden would have to go through the pain of having his limbs removed again. Please, Quinn said, help us. Very well, Fex replied. Follow me. As the three boys followed Fex, they couldn't help but wonder what kind of plan he had. I hope you're hungry, Fex said as he opened the door. As soon as they entered the room, their jaws had nearly dropped to the floor. Currently on the floor were 7 different students who had been tied up. They each had a blindfold around their eyes and a piece of cloth gagging their mouths. This is what someone should have done before they turned him into a ghoul. He would need a different type, right? So here you are. I brought you a different person he can eat for each day of the week, Fex explained. So what, you plan to just kill these students? Vorden asked. Hey, now look who's being the stupid one. No one said anything about killing, Fex replied. The size of meat that a ghoul needs to eat only needs to be about that of a shoe, so there's no need to kill, no need for the school to find out. But won't they say something happened? Peter said, worried as he saw the students wriggling, scared for their lives. Although you guys seem to be friends, it's like you don't know much about vampires, do you? Fex shook his head. If I use my influence powers, then I can make them forget anything ever happened. Well, Quinn, what do you want to do? Peter asked, looking at him. Peter had already made up his mind. He was sick of worrying about this and just wanted to get it over and done with. I can't, Quinn said. I don't even know these people that well. If it makes it easier for you, some of these people aren't good people. Fex then went over to 2 of the male students off to the right side and lifted their heads, revealing a few bruise marks on their faces. What about the rest? Quinn asked. Well, the rest were randomly selected. They just had bad luck, that's all. Look, someone had to draw the short straw, right? While Vorden was looking at the students, he recognized one of the female students. It was the same girl who he had copied the regenerative ability off the other day. Seeing this, though, gave him an idea. Quinn, there is something we can do, Vorden said. Before, he had never considered this an option. Only now that they were able to erase their memories did he think of this. They explained their plan to Fex. After all, they needed him to make sure he erased their memories. All right, then. Fex then pushed the female student towards Quinn, and he managed to grab her just before she tripped and fell over. The boys started to discuss who was going to cut off the limb, since none of them were ready. In the end, it was a unanimous decision that Peter should be the one to do it. Peter grabbed the meat cleaver from the kitchen counter and walked over to the female, all the while Vorden and Quinn held her down on the floor. The 2 had to hold her down, even though her mouth was already gagged. At first, she thought it was a twisted, sick joke being played by her friends. But as soon as she heard them deliberate and talk more about the matter, she slowly realized that it was becoming a reality. As Peter kneeled on his knees, his hands were shaking. Come on, Peter, Vorden said. You're happy enough to eat the damn thing, but you can't cut it off. With those words, Peter closed his eyes and swung the meat cleaver down. But at the last second, he tried pulling it back, causing the meat cleaver to only reach halfway through the bone. Peter, you made it worse, Quinn said, as the 2 swapped positions. Quinn quickly banged a fist on top of the cleaver, pushing it to completely go through. When the leg was detached, he quickly put it inside a black plastic bag. The woman was no longer struggling or screaming. She had just passed out from the fear of everything. 4 more times, Quinn said. We have to do this 4 more times. While the female's leg was being prepared for Peter to eat, Quinn went over and dipped his finger into one of the ends. Blood type A positive. Quinn wanted the O blood type. This way, he would be able to raise his charm stat. He realized that with everything happening around them, they were bound to get caught sooner or later. If that was the case, then one of the most useful skills that he had would be the influence skill. He then licked his finger, and once again the message appeared. A positive blood has been consumed. An additional stat point in strength has been added. Strength 18. While the others were waiting for the leg to heal and for Peter to start eating, Quinn went over to the other 6 students who were still on the ground. Inspect. Quinn had used his inspection skill on each of them, and the main thing he was looking for was their blood types. Out of the 6, there were 2 O-negative blood types, 1 AB positive, 1 A positive, and also 2 B positive blood types. After taking a drop from each student, Quinn decided to check his new improved stats. Strength 19, Agility 18, Stamina 17, Charm 12. At the moment, these were Quinn's current base stats without wearing any equipment. With the 2 O blood types, Quinn did as he said he would, putting them into his charm stats. While doing all of these tasks, Fex was keeping a close eye on Quinn and couldn't help but come over. You're a strange one. Oh, I know. I bet you're one of those blood freaks who has to find the perfect type of blood, Fex said as he shrugged his shoulders. To me, blood is just blood. It all tastes the same no matter who it comes from. Hearing Fex say this started to make Quinn think. System, what is the meaning of this? Quinn asked. I think you figured it out already, the system replied. As I've said to you before, your vampire powers are unique, different from the others. What applies to you doesn't mean it will apply to them, and the same can be said the other way around. But this, Quinn, this is your advantage over the others.
Hi, Quinn here. Wondering what happens next? If you want to jump the queue and unleash all episodes, click on the link here and install the Pocket FM app.